I'm trapped here. In this nightmare. I write to escape. Every word is a step forward. Into darkness.
Alan Wake 2 is an upcoming survival horror game developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by Epic Games Publishing. A sequel to Alan Wake, the game is set to be released for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X on October 17, 2023. The story follows best-selling thriller novelist Alan Wake, who has been trapped in an alternate dimension for 13 years as he attempts to escape by writing a horror story involving an FBI agent named Saga Anderson. Alan Wake 2 is a survival horror game played from a third-person perspective. Players play as Alan Wake or Saga Anderson in two separate single-player stories, which can play in any order the player chooses, although the opening sequence and ending sequence of the game can only be played as Saga and as Alan, respectively. Wake and Anderson traverse environments and fight enemies using various firearms and a flashlight, the latter of which can be focused to render enemies vulnerable to firearm attacks. Focusing the flashlight drains its battery, and players need to strategically use a limited amount of batteries and ammunition in order to survive. When enemies are close, Alan or Saga can perform a dodge maneuver. Alan Wake 2 incorporates detective elements. When playing as Saga, players can always pause the gameplay to access an enemy-free space dubbed the Mind Place. Described by Remedy as a 3D menu, the Mind Place is a visual representation of Saga's thoughts. In the Mind Place, players manage a pinboard in which they can connect clues to piece together the main mystery, as well as profile characters to gather clues. A returning element from Alan Wake is manuscript pages. Players find pages of a manuscript.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale.
So you knew our victim?
Only the rumors. He was chasing a writer.
Someone knew they were here. Was playing a game with them.
Killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us.
We were all trapped in a horror story. The horror story wanted us dead.
That foreshadow upcoming events in the story. Unlike the previous game, Alan Wake 2 features a dialogue tree system. Remedy Entertainment released Alan Wake in 2010. Remedy learnt from their lessons working on Max Payne and wrote Alan Wake in a way that allows additional story to be told through sequels and additional installments. The team quickly began to discuss sequel ideas after Alan Wake was shipped. The sequel would continue to star Alan Wake as the protagonist, but it would also explore the stories of the supporting characters, including Wake's friend Barry Wheeler and Sheriff Sarah Breaker. A prototype was created to show off the gameplay of Alan Wake 2 when the studio was showing the game to potential publishers. New enemies and new gameplay mechanics, such as being able to rewrite reality, was showcased in the prototype. Narratively, it will be a direct continuation of Alan Wake. Ultimately, Remedy pitched the project to Alan Wake publisher Microsoft Studios. Microsoft, however, at the time was not interested in a sequel and instead tasked Remedy to create something new. This ultimately became Quantum Break, which was released in 2016. Most of the ideas for Alan Wake 2 were implemented in American Nightmare, a downloadable follow-up for the original Alan Wake game.
The Sheriff's Department's still looking for a Caucasian woman, 30 years old, slim and blonde with blue eyes. She may be lost in the woods, and it's possible she's been injured in a car accident. If you see her, please make sure you get her indoors and call the sheriff.
It began with